Pahlavi text translated by E.W. West, Part 3. Dinai Mainogi Khirad, Clareton, Oxford University Press, 1885. Chapter 40. The sage asked the spirit of wisdom thus, "What is the colder, and what is the warmer? What is the brighter, and what is the darker? What is the fuller, and what is the emptier? What end is the more fruitless? What is that thing of which no superfluity arises for anyone? What is that which no one is able to deprive one of? What is that thing which is not possible to buy at a price? What is that thing with which everyone is always satisfied? What is that with which no one whatever is satisfied? What is that one wish that Ahurmazd, the Lord, contemplates as regards men? What is that one wish that Aharman, the wicked, contemplates as regards men? What is the end of the worldly existence? And what is the end of the spiritual one?" The spirit of wisdom answered thus, "The heart of the righteous is the warmer, and that of the wicked is the colder. Righteousness is the brighter, and wickedness the darker. The hope and protection which pertain to the sacred beings are the fuller, and those which pertain to the demons are the emptier. The end of the world arranging and spirit-destroying man is the more fruitless. It is knowledge of which no one knows a superfluity. It is learning and skill which no one is able to deprive one of. It is understanding and intellect which it is not possible to buy at a price. It is wisdom with which everyone and one's own self are untroubled and satisfied. It is stupidity and ignorance with which everyone and even one's own self are troubled and not satisfied. That one wish which Ahurmazd, the Lord, contemplates as regards men is this, that ye shall fully understand me, for everyone who fully understands me comes after me and strives for my satisfaction. And that one wish which Aharman contemplates as regards men is this, that ye shall not understand me, for he knows that whoever fully understands that wicked one does not go after his evil deeds, and nothing whatever of power and help for him arises from that man. And as to that which is asked by thee concerning the spiritual and worldly existences, the worldly existence is, in the end, death and disappearance, and of the spiritual existence, in the end, that of a soul of the righteous is undecaying, immortal, and undisturbed, full of glory and full of enjoyment, forever and everlasting, with the angels and archangels and the guardian spirits of the righteous. And the bridge and destruction and punishment of the wicked in hell are forever and everlasting. And the wicked soul, apart from the punishment, contemplates the existence and even the appearance with the demons and fiends, just as, in the worldly existence, a healthy man does that with him who is very grievously sick. And even the appearance, L19, has the wicked soul contemplates being apart from the punishment and also apart from appearance. And the thing that came to mind was all this talk about avoid the appearance of evil. The Quran has that, the Bible has that, at least one of the LDS scriptures have that. Some of the Vedic stuff have that. But certainly you're not going to want to appear for your deeds, if you're coming with a bad record. Verse 31 are forever and everlasting. This phrase can be used either with reference to no time or to eternity. Time which lasts forever must end at the resurrection, as in this case, see chapter 2, verse 193, because time then ceases to exist, but eternity which lasts forever can never end. If this phrase had the same meaning here as in verse 30, it would contradict all other statements regarding the fate of the wicked, which are to be found in Pahlavi literature, including those of the author himself. And nowadays, people would probably drop the Roman numerals. And don't use the colophon, you use the period to divide chapter and verse. They're doing it right here, but And destruction, reading Drus as in L19, but this is doubtful. And the bridge, that is the investigation into the character of the soul at the Kinvar Bridge. Your deeds and your consciousness affect how that goes. Chapter 2, 115, 162, L19 omits the mention of the bridge. And these sorts of references make me think of that when I hear the Led Zeppelin, anybody seen the bridge and all that stuff. I know that's not what's being talked about, but if I was a famous singer, I'd throw in weird religious references to that. Verse 30, and the guardian spirits of the righteous. The guardian spirits are the spiritual representatives of each individual being and thing of the good creation, which is supposed to have been all created by Uharmast in the beginning. See chapter 49, verse 23, Bundhis, chapter 1, verse 8. And one of the things about that is it's more that they're the recording angels, not per se the guardian spirits. Because if you don't do what's right, you kind of... But anyways, L19 has nothing whatever of advantage, and help comes to me in verse 28, and nothing whatever of power and help for him arises. Verse 27 does not go after his evil deeds. L19 has, for whoever fully understands me is wicked, his deeds do not go after me. And see verse 4 in regards to 17, and those which pertain to the demons are emptier. And the hope and protection which pertain to the sacred beings. From this point, the translation again follows the Pahlavi text of K43. So it starts R, the fuller. And I'm not seeing verse L19 omits the 5 words. Is the spiritual one the 5 words, or and what is the end of? Verse 11 contemplates. L19 has nothing, or contemplates nothing as regards man. Using the gender neutral, really. Verse 10, what is that with which no one, whatever, is satisfied? L19 has always. Oh, everyone is always satisfied. Everyone is satisfied, verse 9. No one whatever is satisfied. Nothing satisfied, contemplates. The verb in verse 12 is sufficient for the Pahlavi in this section also. Okay, so I messed up with that one. Verse 5, what end is more fruitless? TD2 has fearless. This does not correspond with 18. The end of the world, it arranging and the spirit destroying man is the more fruitless. Okay, and what is the emptier? Reading, emptier in verse 4. Reading to hectar both here and in verse 17. L19 has tangitar, as if for tangtar, error in both places, and that would put us verse 8. Is it 18? No, 17. The hope and protection which pertain to the sacred beings are the fuller, and those which pertain to the demons are emptier. And of course, when you're worshiping God, then all the, what they're calling sacred beings, the light beings, the unfallen angels, the Sanskrit devis or devas. In this language, the ahura. There's some other words we could throw in.